Greetings. This is Positivologist and Positivity Life Coach Lynette Turner, and welcome to the Positivologist is in the house. Come on in, have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, put your feet up, relax, take a nice deep breath, and thanks so much for joining me. You can connect with me after the show at www.positivebliss.com. So this is a show that focuses on living our lives from a positive perspective. I'm not saying this is easy all the time. We all have challenges. We all have issues we have to deal with, or people that might make us a little bit crazy now and then. But that doesn't mean that we don't have the opportunity each and every day when we get up to make the decision regarding what kind of energy we're going to have as we move through our day. And it's just as easy to have a positive attitude and energy as it is a negative one. So I always recommend and suggest that we start our day with a positive attitude. If we fall off the positivity wagon, we can get right back up and keep moving. So I have the honor and the privilege and the blessing to speak with amazing people out there who are willing to talk with us and share their experiences and talk about the path they're taking to live a positive life. So you're in for a treat this evening because my guest is Dr. Toni Hatton, and she is positivity extraordinaire, I have to say. If you just look at her website, look at her, you just feel very energized, and there's a positive vibe all about her. And she's going to talk about how to be a positive thinker and how to be an attractive thinker, which is a phrase that she's coined, and she's going to tell us what that means. If you just think about that, attractive thinker, to me, I get all these images of what one can do to attract goodness and to attract light and love and positivity. So she's going to give us all sorts of tips tonight and tell us about her journey that got her from point A to point B. So I'm sure we're going to be engaged, enlightened, energized, and excited. And with that, I want to welcome Dr. Toni Hatton to the show. Welcome, Toni.
Great day, Lynette. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm really honored to be able to share space and time with you and your audience tonight.
And we're excited to have you. And when we first signed on, viewers, I told her that she just looks radiant. She's got this great background, and so the energy is just already really vibrating in a good and a positive way. So before we dive in and talk about your journey, the history of how you got to where you are and what you do to help people, I want to turn it over to you, Doctor, and let you take a few minutes to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. What would you like us to know about you? Don't leave anything out about how magnificent you are. And also be sure and tell people how they can contact and reach you. And we'll do this again after the show so that if folks want to connect with you and work with you, they'll know exactly how to reach you. So welcome again, and tell us about yourself.
Awesome, Lynette. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm Dr. Toni Hatton, your vision and mindset expert at www.theattractivethinker.guru. That's .guru. And of course, you can contact our office. I have free consultations, free vision and mindset consultations. Just to talk about you, where you are, and we promise to share how we can support you with your vision and mindset goals at 410-298-2121. As an attractive thinker, people ask me that all of the time. What is an attractive thinker? An attractive thinker is a person with vision, who can see beyond what they're looking at, and they have the courage to focus on what they see until it manifests. And the attractive thinker movement exists, Lynette, so that people can actually align their thinking with the thoughts they're seeking. We want to be able to align our thinking because that thought process is the causal realm. That's where everything is birthed. When we're trying to move forward in our lives on an idea or a new thought, there's a certain process. That's what's called alignment. There's a certain set of thoughts that go with certain goals that we want to accomplish for our lives, certain words that go along with that goal, certain actions we have to take. And when they're all in alignment, we're able to see full manifestation. And the attractive thinker movement exists and supports attractive thinkers, people with vision, because most of the time we have a verbal goal, but we're not tapping into the subconscious mind and reprogramming. Right now, attractive thinkers, who are watching this program right now, your mind is set to a certain set of thoughts and beliefs and our routines and habits are set in place. That's what mindset means. The mind is set somewhere. So if you look at the level of life that you're living right now, that is it's a result of where the mind is set at. If you want anything other than what you have right now, you have to set your mind somewhere else to accomplish that goal. And that's where the inner work comes into play. Who's teaching that? We all have verbal goals. We all have things in our lives that we view as the right thing to do, or this is a goal. This sounds right. We go to conferences and we say, this sounds right. We buy programs and packages and we say, this sounds right. It sounds like the truth. It sounds like something I can do. And then when we get home and try to implement, we hit roadblocks. And that's where the mindset work has to come in at. So who's teaching mindset? You're selling programs and packages. You're purchasing these things. We're not purchasing the mindset that goes along with them in that. So
So that's a very powerful message. Tell me, often in many of our lives there was some catalyst or something happened in our life to cause us to see the vision that you're talking about, to want to reach out and help people, to be an example of what it is you're sharing and telling other people. Did something happen in your life to get you to this point where you are in terms of thinking the way you are and helping other people to walk the path you're talking about? Was there a catalyst or an
absolutely.
experience?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I share this story because, there's a lot of gems that you can pull from it. There's a lot of gems that I pull from it. And I want to encourage attractive thinkers who are watching right now. This story has a meaning. There's some meat in there. There's some gems and jewels in there. There's some information. There's a treasure locked up in your story. If we don't discover the treasure in our journey, then it's just a sad story. We're supposed to come out with great substance. We're supposed to go through things. And when I say go through, you go through experiences in life. And we're supposed to look for the opportunities. Other than that, all we see is challenges. And that's a vision issue. If all we see is challenges, then we're stuck. We feel stuck. And I'm not sure if you can still see me, Lynette, because my screen changed. I'm not sure if you can still hear me, Steve. Can you still hear me? Steve and Lynette, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me and see me,
I
Lynette?
can. Live TV. Have no idea what happened, but let's just keep on talking.
Did the change take place on your end as well, or was it
Yeah,
just my end?
in my end too, but we're back.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So when we talk about our journey and our experiences, we're moving through this process, and we're supposed to pick up the opportunities, the jewels, the gems, the things that we can carry along with us throughout the rest of our lives that will benefit our lives and the lives of others. But most of the time we go through experiences, and because we come out with nothing to use, it's just a sad story. So I had a defining moment. I had several, but one of the major defining moments in my life was when my 10-month-old son was diagnosed with retinoblastoma, which is cancer of the retina. And by the time he was 5, he had to have his eyes removed in order to save his life. So when I say I'm a vision expert, trust me. And I have to warn your audience, when you come into contact with a vision expert, I'm not a coach. I am a vision expert, specifically shining the light on your situation, showing you how to see your situation differently so you can get a different result. That's the bottom line. A vision expert shines the light. It's just like going into a dark room. You know your purse is there, you know your shoes are there, you know your keys are there. You know exactly where they are, but because it's dark, you stumble. That's the difference. Because it's dark, you stumble. But if you have a vision expert in your life to shine the light, turn the light on, we can use the same tools and resources that you already have and show you how to shift them, put them together in such a way that they fit and create an extraordinary picture, something that you can use. So when we talk about being a vision expert, we're talking about getting clarity, we're talking about getting direction, focus, and next steps. And as a result of showing my son how to see without eyes for 18 years, it enabled me to show people with eyes how to see.
Doctor, where did you find the inner strength to do that? Because I can imagine that some people literally might just want to crawl up into a ball and stay there and feel the sadness or the stunning the shock of having to deal with that situation, but to be able to find that inner strength somehow,
Yes.
even for your son and your family, and then have the energy and the love to help other people is pretty amazing. Where
Mhm.
did you find that? Where did it come from? How, what can, I think this might inspire other people who might also be going through some challenging times. They want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it might be hard for them.
Yes, yes. It's a mental decision. It's not a verbal decision. We make verbal statements all of the time and verbal promises to ourselves and others, but it's a mental decision. See, when we talk about mindset, a vision and mindset, you have to strengthen the capacity, the mental capacity. You have to have the mental fortitude to go through this kind of process. You have to know who you are. Think about that. And I made up my mind, Lynette. If it had to hurt this bad, it had to count.
Mm.
It had to count. It was not, I refused. It was not going to be a sad story. That meant I had to roll my sleeves up and dig in and find the opportunities in the midst of this challenge. And it was a process. I wrote a book about it. Don't be afraid, he's preparing you. And of course, you can read a full excerpt of this book at the website, The Attractive Thinker. That's TheAttractive Thinker. THINKER.guru. That's G as in Gary, U-R-U. And you want to click on the book. And you can read a full excerpt there. And when you read this excerpt, when you read the book, it's going to shift your perception of what you're going through so you can pull the gems from your own journey. Again, it was a mental decision. You have to mentally decide that I'm going to see challenges as opportunities. I'm going to look for opportunities within this challenge. Because I always say, Lynette, when life knocks on our door, most of the time the first thing we see when we open the door is the challenge. But challenges and opportunities are twins. If you don't have vision, you're not going to see the opportunity. It's standing right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But because we're conditioned to see the challenge, we miss the opportunity.
Right, right. And so, why do you think we have that conditioning? I mean, why is it that way instead of people automatically having the other more positive or upbeat? But you're right. It so often seems when there's some choice to make, so people tend to go to the reasons why something won't work instead of the reason why it won't. And I'm the one going, but you know what? This can happen.
Yeah.
Don't assume the worst, assume the best. And that's the energy I think that we're going to draw to ourselves.
Yes, yes. It's our human conditioning. It's default. It's the default process. We always go back to default settings. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve. And when you want something out of life, it takes mental work, and you have to have mental tools and resources. The attractive thinkers, they use attractive thinker tools, tips, and resources. You have to have mental tools to keep your mind propped up in a positive direction so that you can continue to produce in life. Gone are the days, Lynette, of trying to accomplish great things, and every morning you wake up and you don't have mindset tools and resources, and you're struggling to get back to the place that you were yesterday. You built yourself up yesterday. You were confident. You felt like you could do it. You got the information. You felt pretty good. You went to sleep. You woke up. You did not do any mindset work, and now you have to struggle to get the mind back to where it was yesterday. But when you have these resources in place, mindset tools and resources, and you're clear that if my mind does not change, neither will my life, then you know what to do. Just like putting on your clothes in the morning, you do your mindset work, you pull out your mindset tools and resources, carry them out throughout the rest of your day with you, and you're able to create and manifest. You don't have to struggle with that negativity, that negative chatter. Guess what? It's going to always be there. We learn how to manage it so that we can move forward.
Yeah, I think one of the words that you said that really resonates with me is the word clarity. So often, if we don't have for me, if I don't have a clear vision of where I want to get to, I'm not going to get there.
Yeah.
And for me, the clearer I am about that vision, it's like I'll tell people, if somebody says, "Oh, I want a job," but they don't